2, 1. Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck. My name is Adam Orduna. This is my mom Gina, and it is a beautiful day for us here on the show. We're just truly blessed by this weather because
awesome.
It's just 75 and perfect.
That's not why we're wearing our chapeaux.
And believe it or not, the reason why we are wearing our hats, it's not because of the weather. It is because of our show today, and our show today is based off of the 2016 Masters tournament, golf tournament this year.
Golf.
We're doing a golf segment.
We're doing our golf
the whole
with
show.
Our Kangol.
Wearing our Kangol hats.
Our Kangol. These are real Kangol.
To being on the green and in our golf attire. I used to wear Kangols all the time growing up, and I still like to wear them. I love these style of hats, and so if I was on the golf range or golf course, we would wear these. You look good too. I like it. That's a nice little look. Hey, yeah. So
although when I golf, I don't wear a Kangol. Yeah, I just wear
do you wear a visor? Oh yeah. You know, well, there's a lot of styles with.
But if I was at the Masters, I bet I would be
Kangled up for the Masters. So I you know, being down there in Augusta, Georgia, the weather is always hit and miss because you don't know what the winds are going to be.
Right.
Usually,
it was windy this year.
Oh my goodness, it was one of the worst years they've had, where every day was basically 25, 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Craziness, crazy.
So people had a really tough time with the greens because the wind was just pushing the ball everywhere. And a lot of people had trouble with the ball being up in the air. And so
I think it would have helped me. I think my slice is so bad. I cut it in the wind like this, and the wind would have been like, whoo. I think it would have helped.
And the dog leg left going right to right. So
left to right.
Yeah. Well, with this year's 2016 Masters Golf Tournament, we had a new champion won at Augusta this year. It was unexpected, Mr. Danny Willett. He is a first-timer winning this tournament, and it was a surprise. I don't think anyone, if you were to have bets, if you were to look at the betting sheets coming out of Vegas, I don't think anyone would have put that much money on Mr. Danny Willett this year.
Well, here comes the haterade, because I know I'm famous for it. I want to give the man credit because he actually went out there. He actually shot a good game. I'm going to say that, okay? But do you think that Danny Willett won the Masters, or do you think your boy just gave it away?
So we're saying Jordan Spieth didn't perform.
I'm almost afraid to speak the Spieth because Jordan Spieth gave the Masters to someone else.
You know,
tell the truth.
I'm just gonna be honest.
Tell the truth.
You're right. He did. Jordan Spieth was up,
killing it,
6 under,
killing
for the first. Almost all the days. I can't even. You can look at his score sheet, and it was -6 for the whole tournament.
Everybody else shooting behind him is at par, going, "Dang it, he's knocking people out because he was so far under that guys who are normally, you know, because for those of you who don't know, the Masters has a 10 rule basically. You can't be more than 10 strokes or whatever behind
from the leader.
So if he's -6, that means you can't be more than +4.
Right.
Normally, people who are +5 or +6 can make the cut a couple of days. He was killing it so bad, people were just dropping like flies.
The first day, people were actually pretty upset because they were like, I hope Jordan can slow down. We're just getting into our 3rd hole, and I'm not even going to make it. I'm already
the Tiger Woods treatment.
Yes.
Tiger Woods is winning by too much. Jordan Spieth was winning by so much the whole week. This was how bad it was. In our house, we have a lot of TVs, and they're always on sports. He's in the basement. I'm upstairs, and we're screaming back and forth to each other, yelling like we're watching a football game, watching the Masters, hollering, both of us, all the way up until collapse day.
Literally the final day of the Masters, Jordan just couldn't sustain his lead, and he had a couple of really bad holes, and he didn't really recover from that. And so when you raise your level of play, everyone else is going to raise their level of play. So the margin of error was this big.
Dude, you're being nice. He crapped it. I mean, I can go out and hit the ball in the water. Yeah, well, probably not because it's a long way to the water. But on my second or third stroke, I can hit it in the water.
Yeah.
More than once.
It was a tough couple of holes for him on that last day, and he ended up with a quadruple bogey on one of them.
7 strokes on 12.
It really killed his score, and therefore, like I said, when you are -6 the whole tournament, everyone else is trying their darndest to make the cut, And so because of that, everyone else is making impossible shots and hitting the best drivers they've ever had in their life. And so when you have a mess up, you got to expect somebody else being right on your heels. And so in a way, it's like when you drop down, someone else is going up, and that's exactly what happened.
He was setting the pace, and all of a sudden the runners are trying to run to keep up with you. So you trip up. You've already got these guys pacing behind you. And it was a crazy Masters. They had 3 hole-in-one shots on 16. One of them, the ball went, it hit another ball, and then rolled into the hole. I mean, it was insane.
Well, and then what about the guy tried to hit the putt, and he missed it 6 different times? I mean,
first day
it was a crazy Masters this year. It really was.
I recorded it so we could watch it again. And here's the thing.
We tried so hard to.
And it was like,
oh man. And he was within like a foot and a half within the hole, barely
close. He was within 6 inches of it.
Not even that far.
It was like somebody had a magnet under the putting green.
Nope. Yeah.
We're hard on golf. We've been hard on golf. It's where we've called it a game of skill and maybe not a sport because the athleticism, whatever. It was certainly entertaining.
Right.
And I want to give credit to ESPN and CBS, the way they covered it. You didn't have to sit there and watch everybody do 4 or 5 strokes, all 100 or whatever players are out there. They just would do a good job of editing it from the great tee off to really good play on the short courses up on the putting greens. So they did a good job of keeping you excited and letting you watch, your favorite players do what they're supposed to do. So
and I think what happened this year as well, a lot of people were anticipating Jordan Spieth. A lot of people like Jordan Spieth. We happen to like Jordan Spieth as well. I think he's a great guy. He does a lot of things well on the golf course. He's an outstanding young gentleman. I think he's really trying to take golf in the right direction.
I agree.
I think he's really marketable.
He keeps it exciting.
And he's a young guy and he's doing well out of Texas, and so you can appreciate what he's done. But to that point, I think ESPN has also, and to your point, ESPN has done a really good job of advertising the Masters, getting the right angles, having the right commentary, and also, partnering with CBS and some of their coverage. But ESPN has really done a good job with promoting the Masters.
And helping you to see the ball and that sort of thing.
Exactly.
So even if you're not into golf, or like my husband, who likes to play it but thinks watching on TV is stupid, he actually, we were so excited, I think we kind of got him excited about it. But they did a good job of shooting it. And there's some young Thundercats this year too.
Absolutely. Well, and there's a lot of
Who's that cat out of SMU? He was an amateur.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He was killing it the first couple of days
too. Exactly. Well, and golf does have some guys. Ricky Fowler, who I'm a huge fan of. He's actually a Clemson guy, but he's sponsored by Puma, and he used to rock the long hair and these really obscure pants. He's kind of
I think golf is where you can
reined it back in a little bit, but I'm a huge fan of him. Everyone loves Bubba Watson. We all remember his great run he had a couple years ago, and everyone always still tends to tune in to watch Phil, and so it's always
Tom
fun.
Watson went out
and
this
Tom
year.
Watson, exactly. That's exactly right.
That was a very
speak on that a little bit.
I will. He's from our area, and you talk about a great champion, and he fought it out. This was my problem. Again, Jordan Spieth had set the bar at -6 so high. I believe he went out, he was +9.
Yes.
And in years past, people would finish 1 or 2 under par. He'd had a shot at it, but I think he ended up finishing actually +6, and I'll double check that.
Oh yeah, okay. I think
he was getting close enough, but Spieth had set the bar so high that he couldn't do it. But his beautiful wife was there, his family was there. He went out like a champion. He retired the way you want to. I'm not going to give it a Black Mamba kind of thing. But he did it with class, and it was really good to see a legend go out like that, and it was a good Masters.
Well, and it also helps having somebody like Mike Tirico, who is a well-rounded sports analyst and anchor, and he covers the Masters at least the first 2 rounds, and he had an amazing conversation with Tom Watson. He has a lot of respect from athletes all over the world.
Everybody.
And so
and he should.
Exactly. He's one of the best, and just like how he was at the Laker game with Kobe, he was there for the Masters with Tom Watson, and so it was really cool to be able to watch that.
And from all accounts, Tom Watson's a very nice guy.
He really is, and he loves Kansas City as well. He does a lot of good things.
People I know around here who've run into him. He's humble and nice and
super nice, absolutely. And so it was really fun to watch that, even though there was no Tiger, which I was actually okay with that because he needs to rest up. I want Tiger back.
You
know what? We won't even really get into that, but I was okay with Tiger not being in the Masters this year. but we'll get into that later on.
In other words, though, tip of the hat. It was a great Masters.
It was a fantastic one to watch.
Yes. By the way, I'm not trying to hate on Jordan Spieth. You're the man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you came bogey on hole 12. You come on.
Well, I mean, you should have won it this year.
You should have won it.
We were hoping for you to come out with another green jacket.
Don't
this
let
was
the
yours
Brits take
to
our stuff.
win, not for yours to lose. You should have won that one.
Go get it, Jordan.
Dang. Well, I think that's all we have from us on the deck. We appreciate your time, folks. Go out and enjoy this beautiful weather because I know we're going to.
Yes, we are.
So we want to say thanks for your time and stay tuned for the next episode.